Welcome to Books for Success. Today, we're delving into the wisdom within Secrets of Divine Love by Helwa. Secrets of Divine Love, 2020, delves into the spiritual depths of Islam, offering insights into its universal themes of divine connection and oneness. It explores the unique essence of God, the role of the Quran as a guide, and the transformative journey through Islam's spiritual stages, illuminating the path to inner fulfillment and universal kinship. Who's it for? Curious cats wondering about Islam. Divine truth detectives. Avid intrafaith researchers. Before we begin, subscribe and ring the bell for notifications if you want to keep receiving the knowledge of book summaries about health, wealth, love, psychology, and much more. Don't be shy about dropping your book suggestions for us to summarize. Also, you can use this video as an audiobook summary. Let's grow and succeed together. What's in it for me? Discover universal connections and spiritual insights. Helwa, Secrets of Divine Love, a spiritual journey into the heart of Islam. Have you ever wondered how we're all part of the same human family on a single planet, even with our different backgrounds, stories, and beliefs? Pausing and reflecting on this concept helps us remember that we're all connected beyond all the ways we're different. This exploration brings us to a key principle of Islam, which is often viewed solely as a religion but is actually a holistic way of life, offering insightful perspectives on unity. Central to Islam is a universal invitation to acknowledge the unity that binds us, highlighting a common yearning for connectedness in everyone. Hold firmly to the rope of Allah altogether and do not become divided, says the Quran, Islam's holy book of Revelation, in chapter 3, verse 103. This powerful verse is an anchor, reminding us to look beyond our individual beliefs and recognize the common spiritual ground we share. In this summary, you'll find an overview of various Islamic teachings and practices. While distinctly Islamic, these elements echo a universal search for divine connection, an idea that could be meaningful across different religious and spiritual paths. It's important to approach this overview with an open mind, understanding that it comes from a religious standpoint, which might not resonate with all. Nevertheless, for those intrigued by Islam or in pursuit of spiritual enrichment, this summary offers insights into the unique nature of the divine as conceptualized in Islam, the inner self's inherent divinity, the Quran's role as a life guide, and Islam's multifaceted approach to integrating faith into everyday life. Ready to uncover the oneness that connects us all? Let's dive in. Allah, the single source of existence in Arabic. Allah is a word that translates directly to the God, signifying a singular, unifying source that transcends religious and cultural divisions. Allah, the single source of existence. As such, we'll use Allah and God interchangeably throughout this summary. As it turns out, God is not confined to Islamic principles alone, but echoes across various faiths as the origin and essence of love and existence. God embodies an absolute transcendent reality as the creator of the universe and the light of the heavens and earth. This divine presence is intimately woven into every aspect of creation, from the blooming of flowers to the rise of mountains, from the painting of colors into your eyes to the vibrations forming the cosmos. God's presence is evident in everything. This notion invites you to contemplate that reaching for anything other than this divine essence is essentially reaching into emptiness, reflected in the scientific finding that all things in existence are made up of empty atoms. In Islam, God has 99 known names, one of which is as-Samad, which means solid, impenetrable, and non-hollow. If you think about it, this name symbolizes a metaphorical wholeness, contrasting every creation's physical incompleteness. This divine wholeness represents completeness, indivisibility, and the transcendence of numbers or parts. As the forger of time, molder of space, and weaver of souls, God is the ultimate craftsman of existence. The Quran alludes to this intimate connection in chapter 57, verse 4. He is with you wherever you are. This verse emphasizes the divine presence permeates all aspects of your existence, from the minutest atom to the farthest star. God is singular beyond intellectual comprehension. As many an Islamic mystic would say, only God can know God, indicating that your mind, limited in its capacity, cannot fully comprehend a singular God who cannot be divided and is unlike anything known to man. The Quran echoes this sentiment in chapter 6, verse 107. Vision does not encompass him, he encompasses vision. He is above all comprehension, yet is acquainted with all things. God's relationship with creation and humanity displays awe-inspiring power and a profound love and mercy narrative representing this singularity. This divine love is eternal, without beginning or end. The Quran eloquently expresses this unconditional love by mentioning that Allah's mercy encompasses all things, in chapter 7, verse 156. It suggests that even in your moments of transgression and sin, God's love and mercy are ever present to guide you back towards righteousness. In short, the concept of Allah invites you to view your relationship with the divine not just through worship and obedience, but as a profound, intimate connection that transcends all earthly experiences. It's also a call to recognize and embrace the common ground that connects everyone, irrespective of diverse backgrounds and beliefs. With such grand emphasis on oneness, it's no wonder why the inner self is crucial in the journey to the heart of Islam. Let's unpack that next. The instrumental role of your inner self. The instrumental role of your inner self imagines standing before a magical mirror that can reflect the deeper layers of your being beyond the physical form. In this mirror, you see a glimpse of something divine, a connection to a singular source of existence. To understand this connection, and how God wills it, is to embark on a journey of self-discovery. In Islam, this journey encompasses 3 stages: fitra, or inner goodness, our dual nature, and the ego. Let's explore the first stage. Fitra is your innate leaning towards the divine, a seed of purity and goodness planted within you by God's loving grace. No matter how many external influences you face, this fitra remains unchanged, a constant reminder of your spiritual roots and potential. Have you ever noticed that small inner voice urging you towards better choices when tempted to stray? That's the fitra at work. The Quran speaks of this in chapter 30, verse 30. Stand firm and true in your devotion to the religion. This is a natural disposition, or fitra, God instilled in humankind. As such, your life is a chance to plant this divine seed and let it grow into a flourishing tree of kindness and spiritual richness. And the beauty of the fitra is that, no matter how many mistakes you've made, it always offers a path back to your inherent goodness. How awesome is that? Of course, to know your fitra, you have to know its opposite, your darkness. Intertwined with the concept of fitra is a narrative of our dual nature, exemplified by the story of Adam and Eve. You are a blend of earthly elements and divine breath, created to manifest heaven on earth by reflecting divine qualities of love and mercy. The presence of the shaitan, the devilish force and figure of hopelessness and deceit in Islam, complements this celestial potential. While disruptive, the existence of the shaitan serves a paradoxical purpose, to highlight areas where your heart strays from the divine, and to teach the importance of overcoming such deviations through gratitude and humility. Let's talk about the ego, or nafs, further complicating this journey. The ego acts as a veil between the consciousness and spirit, born from the spiritual and physical union. This ego is necessary for its contrast, pushing you to transcend your lower desires and align with the divine. Its tendency to forget the divine is counterbalanced by the act of remembrance, transforming your perception of reality. This transformative process is beautifully illustrated in the story of Mullah Nasruddin. Losing and discovering what you possess leads to a deeper appreciation of its value. Similarly, your journey on earth is a lesson in gratitude, an opportunity to recognize and appreciate the blessings you inherently possess. Exploring your fitra, dual nature, and ego, ultimately sets the stage for a deeper understanding of the Quran. Next, we'll unravel the layers of this holy text to uncover its role as a go-to guide as you navigate the complexities of your relationship to the divine and your inner self. The compass for inner exploration. While discovering your inner self, the Quran can help you avoid confusion and discern your way through every situation. The compass for inner exploration. Like a traveler relying on a compass in uncharted territories, this holy book is a guiding light that shines on the path back to your essence and the divine. The Quran is more than a sacred text. It is a divine letter of love from God, infused with mercy and grace. It acts as a window, urging you to look through its verses to understand God's mysterious essence within you and everyone. Every word reminds you that you exist within an ocean of divine love beyond the confines of human action. Universally recognized as the criterion in life, the Quran helps see which paths would bring you to your true nature and which would lead you astray and away. Central to the Quran's transformative power is its oral tradition, initiated by Prophet Muhammad. Recitation acts as a unifying force, aligning souls with the oneness of God. This oral aspect is key because the Quran juxtaposes straightforward verses with figurative, symbolic, and metaphorical references. These perfectly balanced literary aspects allow it to transcend time and speak to readers of various intellectual levels through timeless and universal appeal. Its unparalleled use of symbolism is accessible to people across different eras and cultures, making its teachings relevant and understandable to everyone who stumbles upon it. Despite being commonly referenced to as a book, the Quran transcends this definition. Muslims believe it reflects God's direct speech, requiring interaction and internalization rather than passive reading. This dynamic process makes its teachings resonate deeply, ensuring they are not merely words on a page but a vibrant living dialogue. The revelation of the Quran to Prophet Muhammad took place over 23 years, a period that reflects a natural progression of existence, allowing for gradual understanding and integration of knowledge rather than rushed acknowledgement. That each chapter was unveiled to him step by step signifies the non-linear, multi-dimensional nature of your relationship with God, teaching that patience and persistence are essential in spiritual growth. Another example is the story of Moses confronting Pharaoh, which speaks not just to the historical event but also metaphorically to the struggle between truth and tyranny. Notice how this lesson can resonate with anyone, from a scientist grappling with ethical dilemmas to a shepherd facing injustices in their community. Through these timeless narratives, you can find parallels in your life, transforming your downtime with the Quran into an experiential journey at the individual level. It's important to note that the Quran meets each speaker wherever they are in their spiritual quest. This act interrupts negative patterns and sheds light on areas resisting divine connection. The Quran reflects your own state of consciousness back to you. Approach it with love and mercy, and you experience divine beauty. Approach it with negativity and face the shadows of your own heart. You can call it the perfect mirror. Now, how do you apply its teachings in your daily life? From wisdom to practice. From wisdom to practice. Now that you know the Quran is a guide for inner discovery, it's time to discover how its teachings are the bedrock for a person's three-stage spiritual journey: Islam, Iman, and Ihsan. Just as the Quran illuminates a path towards understanding divine essence, these stages represent a believer's progressive deepening in their faith, each building upon the foundations laid by the sacred text. Islam, which means submission in Arabic, is about translating the Quran's teachings into daily physical practices. It involves the physical observance of rituals like Salah or the 5 daily prayers, and fasting during the Islamic month of Ramadan, which are external expressions of submission to God's will. These practices, rooted in Quranic guidance, are like the pillars of a building, providing a structural framework for a person's life. Just as the Quran emphasizes the importance of regular prayer and fasting, the stage of Islam puts these teachings into action, forming a disciplined routine that strengthens one's connection to God. In the next stage, Iman represents faith. Here, a person shifts from being a practitioner to a believer by internalizing the belief in a singular God, his angels, his messengers, the reality of unseen forces, and the afterlife. Iman is where mental understanding and feeling converge, resulting in a profound trust and reliance on God. You can say it's a heartfelt relationship with the divine, nurtured by actions such as engaging in dhikr or chanting God's names to remember and embody his attributes, and studying the meanings of the Quran beyond surface levels. Now we've come to Ihsan, which represents the highest level of spiritual maturity attainable, by doing things as perfectly as possible, even when no one's watching. In doing so, you embody Quranic teachings literally, every day. Psychologically, this stage is about constantly being aware of God's presence, in that He sees you, even if you don't see Him, in every moment and everywhere. The highest reflection of Ihsan is community-based activities such as zakat or almsgiving, and spoken sadaqah, which means using speech to uplift others. When you see God everywhere, you'll remember that thinking of others isn't just a duty, but an expression of your love for God, who loves his creations even before they can exist to love him back. It involves viewing every interaction, whether with people or nature, as an opportunity to manifest his divine qualities like mercy, compassion, and patience. In short, each stage of applying Quranic lessons in real life represents strengthening your faith based on the words of God. While time-consuming, the journey can take your spirituality from outward conformity to the divine laws, to an internalized knowing of oneness, and ultimately, spiritual fulfillment. When in doubt, embody Muhammad. When in doubt, embody Muhammad. Have you ever marveled at how a single guide can illuminate a path through darkness? This is the essence of the Prophet Muhammad's role in Islam, seamlessly linking the Quran's teachings to the embodiment of faith. You cannot truly say you know Islam without first understanding the key figure through which the way of life came to be. So, when in doubt, draw inspiration from his story. Born in 570 AD in Mecca, Muhammad was a descendant of the Prophet Abraham. Known for his truthfulness and trustworthiness, he began receiving revelations from God at the age of 40, marking the start of his prophetic mission. Despite facing immense challenges, his unwavering commitment to monotheism and his exemplary character drew people to Islam. Muhammad's life is a testament to the power of resilience, mercy, and humility. His peaceful conquest of Mecca, where he forgave those who had oppressed him throughout his rise to middle-age leadership, highlights his extraordinary capacity for forgiveness and compassion. The Prophet's purpose wasn't just rooted in spreading a religious message. It was about exemplifying the highest human virtues for the world to follow. Remarkably, Muhammad lived a life of simplicity, despite having access to wealth. He remained humble, participating in household chores, and leading by example. His life is a perfect illustration of the teachings of the Quran, providing a practical blueprint for living a life devoted to God. In essence, Muhammad was not just a prophet, but a beacon of divine light, guiding followers toward a higher spiritual consciousness. His presence, like the sun and the moon, illuminated the path of truth and righteousness. His legacy continues to inspire and guide millions around the world, making him an unparalleled figure in the history of spirituality. Final words. In this summary to Secrets of Divine Love by Helwa, you've learned that the core principle of Islam is that Allah is a universal thread of oneness that binds all of us together. From understanding God's unique singular essence, to embracing the Quran as a reliable life guide, progressing through the spiritual stages of Islam, Iman, and Ihsan, and modeling after the Prophet Muhammad's historical grace, you will eventually arrive at a profound realization. In our diverse expressions of faith, we're all united in our quest for divine truth and connection. Please leave us a rating or a comment. We always appreciate your feedback. See you in the next summary. Thanks for being part of our insightful voyage. If our summary piqued your interest, we encourage you to dive into the complete book for a deeper understanding. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more content if you're new here, and share it with others who might find it valuable. Keep on reading, discovering, and advancing until our next adventure.